Obesity, more specifically defined as the condition of being grossly fat or overweight, is something that can affect you greatly in all sorts of negative ways when not taken seriously. It is not only common but costly. It is a disease that involves an excessive amount of body fat and is not only a concern, but a medical issue that can lead to other health problems when not treated. You are considered obese if and when your body mass index is 30 or greater. Some facts about obesity is that at least 2.8 million people die each year from being overweight or obese. Worldwide obesity has nearly tripled since 1975. Most of the world's population live in countries where overweight and obesity kills more people than underweight. However, specifically governments, international partners, civil society, non-governmental organizations, and the private sector play an important part in preventing this disease. Obesity tends to spring from eating too much and exercising too little. If you tend to eat a lot of food that contains fat and choose not to exercise or move at all, it becomes a repeating cycle and is then stored in your body as fat. Another thing that can cause obesity is your diet, if and when it is unhealthy. It is something that doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time as a result of an unhealthy diet or exercising too little. It is argued that culture can play a role in obesity too. Typically, you follow trends that the other people around you do, or even your culture does, whether you notice you're doing it or not. Throughout this short film, you will learn more about obesity, hear about interviews, and know how to prevent and overcome this disease if you have it. Ultimately, you will know how to walk alongside someone who is battling it and help them as well.
My name is Colton Curtis. I'm an outside sales representative for Request Foods in Holland, Michigan. Request Foods is a private label frozen food manufacturer. So that means our name never goes on the label of the food that we make. We make around 500 different custom entrees, side dishes, appetizers, sauces, and desserts. I think the reason Request is competitive being in a frozen food business is because there still is a high demand for frozen foods, even in a health-conscious world. Every year we're studying statistics, frozen foods, fresh food sales, and frozen foods have actually grown or remained steady the past couple of years. That being said, it is possible to create healthy frozen meals. So we pride ourselves on quality at Request Foods. We are making meals from scratch, just on a larger scale. So we're making our own pasta noodles from number one semolina flour. We're bringing in our own beef and meat to cook, grind, and to put into our entrees. We're buying, healthy vegetable ingredients that are frozen, but they're healthy. We're making all the sauces from scratch. After the meals are assembled, this is one thing that helps us. They're quickly frozen in our spiral freezers. So the first time the food actually comes together is when the customer heats it up in their home oven or microwave. We have a full-time USDA inspector on site, and our food's going to be safe and legal. So at Request Foods, we have 11 full-time R&D chefs that are researching trends and health-conscious meals. So we actually do make healthy entrees. We make it for a diet program. We make the Jenny Craig meals, if you've heard of that. That's a low-calorie, low-carb diet meal that we are making foods for. So we have the capabilities to create healthy meals. I do think the biggest obstacle we have to tackle in this health-conscious world is the frozen food stigma. I think frozen food, gets a bad rap when it really shouldn't, in my opinion. Are there unhealthy foods out there? Absolutely. But are there healthy frozen foods out there? Yes. So we're continuing to adapt and change to what the customer wants. So today, manufacturers are working to meet demands of health-conscious consumers. That means we are creating lots of low-calorie, low-sodium foods that are filled with, vegetables, grains, and lean proteins. So frozen foods are definitely still relevant today, but we're continuing to adapt to the times to create healthier options for our consumers.
Poor diets are the leading risk factor to obesity. Around different grocery stores in the United States, we can see that high-fat, high sugar, and less nutritious foods are priced lower than healthier items. The reason why America is considered to be the most obese country is because healthy foods are not priced at a reasonable level. When comparing a Pop-Tart to a Kind bar, we can see that the Pop-Tart is $5.70 cheaper, and it comes with more quantity of the item. An American would likely choose to pick the Pop-Tart because it's cheaper and comes with more even though it is full of added sugars and has no nutritional value. Healthy foods are also hard to find for an individual living with a low income status. The only food they could afford is the cheap, non-nutritious food, which is what leads them to obesity or being overweight. If America would like to see a change in our diets, grocery companies and food brands must come to a reasonable agreement for a price that everyone can afford so life can change in the United States.
My name is Austin Miller. I graduated at Midland High School. I'm currently enrolled in Delta College, and I plan on transferring to get my degree in business at maybe a university of some sort, Northwood or Michigan State. My job at Dairy Queen is I'm a team captain there, and pretty much I just make sure the flow of things go throughout nicely and that we get each customer satisfied and happy and taken care of. So what I think gets sold the most is definitely our blizzards. I feel like that's the most popular thing, and everyone pretty much at nighttime always just craves those blizzards and always goes to Dairy Queen. But also, ironically, we do have grill and chill locations at certain locations, and we serve all types of burgers and like snack melts as well as chicken strips and fries. And then also on the ice cream side, or the chill side, we like to call it, we serve shakes, malts, cones, sundaes, stuff like that as well. Our large actually is over like 1,000 calories for certain blizzards, in between like 900 and like 1,100 calories, which is really insane. But small, I would say roughly in between maybe 400 to like 700 calories ish. But then if you add the food and stuff, it's probably close to maybe getting like around 2,000 calories, I would assume, if everything added up. I would say roughly on average, probably in between like 1 and 4 customers order like a large size order. What I noticed in like fast food companies and stuff like that throughout my 2 years of working there, customers are going to get like what they want and what they order. So like their proportions of how like there's going to be people that are going to be ordering those large blizzards and like large amounts of food, and then like there's nothing you can really do about that. Even if you try to make the meal a little healthier for them, like they're still going to be consuming a lot of calories. It's all about really money when it comes to like business owners and stuff like that. They care about the money, not really necessarily like what they're serving.
So I learned a lot from that interview. But to recap the most important points, I would say that the things he said about how fast food is more about the money and not really about what they're giving the customers is a very big problem. And also how people are going to order large orders, even if you try to make the order smaller. So this really made me think, maybe obesity isn't all culture. Maybe it's not everything that's everyone else around you. Maybe it's mental. Maybe it's in the human brain. So I'm going to pass it off to my man Jay to explain a little more about that.
Hi, this is Jay, and this is the part that I will going to talk about some effect of obesity and ways to prevent having obesity, and also some mental effect of obesity. So, first part, there are a few effects of obesity, which are obese people are prone to cancer, lead to various vascular diseases, easily induce diabetes, easily lead to sports system diseases, lead to dyslipidemia, increase the probability of suffering from hypertension, increase the heart load, lead to fatty liver, and also cause bone and joint diseases. Some ways to prevent having obesity. Firstly, timely supplement fiber in the daily diet to eat some high fiber food, rich in fiber food. And second one, choose some organic food. Third, learn to release pressure, which is an important cause of obesity. Fourth, exercise more. Fifth, relax the body and mind. Maintain a good attitude. Good mood can ensure the normal exercise of the human body. For obesity can also play a certain role. The last part is the mental effect. Obese people are easy to get ridicule from others around them, which will do some harm to their mental health. In addition, weight loss is a matter of perseverance. So some obese people will be more likely to eat those harmful food, perhaps because they abandon themselves.